Where did money come from? The story that changed human civilization. What if I told you that the most powerful invention in human history wasn't the wheel, electricity, or the internet, but money? Without it, you couldn't buy food, get paid, invest, or even build a modern civilization. Yet for thousands of years, humans lived without a single coin or banknote. So where did money come from? Who invented it? And why does a simple piece of paper or even a number on a screen have the power to buy almost anything? The answer is far more fascinating than most people realize. Let's travel back about 10,000 years, long before banks, credit cards, or even coins existed. People lived in small farming communities where everyone produced something different. Some grew crops, others raised animals. Some made tools, pottery, clothing, or weapons. If you needed something you couldn't produce yourself, there was only one option: barter. You exchanged what you had for what someone else owned. At first, this system worked reasonably well because villages were small. Imagine you're a farmer with baskets full of wheat, and you want a new pair of shoes. You visit the village shoemaker, hoping to make a trade. But there's a problem. The shoemaker doesn't need wheat today. He needs fish for dinner. Now you must leave. Find a fisherman willing to exchange fish for your wheat, then return to the shoemaker with the fish. If you can't find the right people in the right order at the right time, the trade simply fails. This problem became known as the double coincidence of wants, and as civilizations grew larger, it became one of the biggest obstacles to economic growth. The problem became even worse with expensive items. Imagine trying to buy a house using chickens, goats, wheat, pottery, and handmade furniture. How many chickens equal one house? What if the chickens die before the deal is finished? What if the seller doesn't want livestock at all? The larger the economy became, the more obvious it was that barter could never support a growing civilization. People needed something that everyone would accept. Different civilizations experimented with different solutions. In Africa and Asia, cowrie shells became valuable because they were rare and difficult to counterfeit. In ancient China, people sometimes used bronze tools as money. Across parts of Africa, cattle represented wealth for centuries. On Pacific islands, enormous limestone stones were used as a form of currency. In other places, people traded with salt, tea bricks, tobacco, beads, animal skins, or even cocoa beans. None of these looked like modern money, but they all served the same purpose. They were widely accepted in exchange for goods and services. One of the most interesting examples was salt. Today, it's inexpensive and found in every supermarket, but thousands of years ago, it was incredibly valuable because it preserved food before refrigerators existed. Armies depended on it. Traders transported it across continents. In the Roman Empire, soldiers were sometimes paid partly with salt because it was considered so valuable. In fact, many historians believe the English word salary ultimately comes from the Latin word associated with salt. Imagine receiving your monthly paycheck in bags of salt instead of dollars. Eventually, people discovered something even better: precious metals. Gold and silver were rare, durable, portable, and easy to divide into smaller pieces. Unlike food, they didn't spoil. Unlike animals, they couldn't die. Unlike shells, they were much harder to find. These qualities made them ideal as money. Around 600 BC, in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, located in present-day Turkey, the world's first standardized coins were produced. For the first time in history, people no longer needed to weigh pieces of gold or silver during every transaction. Buying and selling suddenly became much faster, easier, and more trustworthy. As trade expanded across continents, another problem appeared. Carrying bags filled with gold coins was heavy, inconvenient, and extremely dangerous. Merchants traveling long distances constantly faced the risk of robbery. To solve this problem, wealthy traders began storing their gold with trusted goldsmiths and early banks. In return, they received paper receipts proving ownership. At first, these receipts were simply claims to the gold stored in secure vaults. Then, something remarkable happened. People realized they didn't actually need to collect the gold every time they wanted to buy something. Instead, they could simply hand the paper receipt to someone else. That person could later exchange it for the gold whenever they wanted. Gradually, the paper itself began circulating as money. This simple idea changed the world forever because carrying paper was far easier than carrying bags of gold. Over time, governments recognized the importance of paper money and began issuing official banknotes backed by national authority. People trusted these notes because they believed the government would honor their value. For centuries, many currencies were even linked directly to gold through what became known as the gold standard. In theory, anyone could exchange paper money for a fixed amount of gold held by the government. But then, everything changed. During the 20th century, most countries gradually abandoned the gold standard. Today, the US dollar, the euro, the British pound, the Japanese yen, and nearly every major currency are no longer backed by gold. So why do they still have value? Because modern money is built on trust. Every time you accept money in exchange for your work, you're trusting that someone else will also accept it tomorrow. Businesses trust customers. Customers trust banks. Banks trust central banks. Governments trust their economies. Billions of transactions happen every single day because people collectively believe that money will continue to hold value. If that trust disappeared, money would instantly become little more than paper and numbers on a screen. In fact, most money today isn't even physical. More than 90% of the money people use exists only as digital records inside banking systems. Your salary, savings, credit card payments, online shopping, and bank transfers are usually nothing more than numbers moving between computers. Physical cash now represents only a small fraction of the world's total money supply. It's incredible to think that something which began as a solution to trading wheat for shoes eventually evolved into invisible digital money powering the global economy. Every house you buy, every stock you invest in, every business you build, and every paycheck you receive depends on one invention that humans created thousands of years ago to solve a surprisingly simple problem. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Money Decoded for more simple insights on money, investing, and the economy. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching.